Hello beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and welcome to the first vlog in the full moon readathon hosted by Jan. I'm going to post Jan's intro video in the description box, so if you want to jump in even halfway, it's like a 13-day readathon, so you can still participate. I think it's only 8 books for the readathon, so I think it's fairly doable. 8? Yes, 8 books. So I am actually here. It is August 1st, so first day of the readathon, and I am supposed to be starting off with The Mummy and reading Changes First, the 12th book in the Jim Butcher series, but I am a little behind on my goal to finish Turncoat, so we're gonna finish that today, and then we will hop into Changes. So I don't know if I will be really doing any of the reading that I had set out for my TBR, but that's okay because we got some work to do. I've got some consulting stuff to do. I finally got these hooks. What are these called? Eyelets? No, these hooks for my jewelry. So I haven't really talked about this on my YouTube channel, but I am starting an Etsy shop, and one of the things I am making, I've got these little, look at them. They're little fluffy clouds. Little fluffy clouds, and I'm gonna make them into little earrings with some danglies, some dangly raindrop beads looking things, and there'll be little earrings that I'll be selling in my shop. So I'm trying to do some mock-ups and trying to figure out like the best way to do them. I've already crocheted like a crap ton of these. And then I also, I've also been designing these necklaces. See here. So it's a D20 with a sword inside, and oh geez. Yeah, so there's that. This one's longer, but those I'm working on currently. So I'll probably be doing a little bit of that while I listen to the audiobook for Turncoat. And then I have to work on my Hades cosplay at some point in time. Today, tomorrow, I gotta get working on it. My boots and wigs and all of that stuff should come in so today. So I'll either film it today or tomorrow of like unboxing some of that stuff, talking through it. And then I guess doing the second book in the Hades Persephone saga from Scarlett St. Clair. I read A Touch of Darkness for like the first half of me making my cosplay outfit for DragonCon, but I give it like a 2.5, which I'll talk about further in that vlog. I finished it yesterday. So I'm not sure how this next book is going to go, but I want to stay on theme. So we will listen to that audiobook while working on that. Because I you know, we trying to stay on theme here. We try to be thematic, if you will. But that's my updates right now. Like I said, I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna get that going. But we'll check in later, okay? Also, I was trying to do, first off, this hair. But I was trying to do a simple cat eye today, but I messed up and it was really thick and I did not feel like going through the entire process of cleaning it up. So I just went with dramatic. So we are very dramatic today. That's fine. I was thinking I needed to take a thumbnail for something. Oh, probably for my Dresden File blog. I keep saying blog, my Dresden Files read challenge. I do need to do that. I do need to take a thumbnail picture for that and start editing that vlog at some point today or tomorrow as well. So that's kind of where we're at. Super exciting stuff for our first reading vlog, but yeah, it is August first, we're diving head into it. So, chat with you later.
Please not have any drama. We love this turnaround, because I think this time during season 6, we weren't really exactly rating the episodes all that highly. So I'm glad that you're giving these episodes quite high ratings. Season 7 is a gem. It is a gem. Pages. Oh, the pink sit night. Oh, perfect. I'm so glad you got it. And a sweatshirt. Perfect. I also have my paint by numbers. So it was like a set of 6. And it was quite cheap. So I can pick any of these days.
Trying to get as much filming in before my camera dies. Hello, today is Tuesday. Today's the second day? I don't know why I said Tuesday. Today is Friday, August 2nd. Second day in the full moon readathon. I have finished Turncoat, which means that we can actually proceed to actually diving into the books that we had set out for the readathon. So Changes is sitting on my nightstand right now. We shall read her hopefully starting today at some point, but we are going to Houston Restaurant. But Houston Restaurant Week has started here. And when I say restaurant week, it's like a month where a bunch of restaurants around the city do like predetermined menus, and you like select certain things for each course and pay like a flat fee for that menu, and some of the proceeds go to the Houston Food Bank, and it's a really big thing here in the city. There's so many restaurants to choose from, and there's so many restaurants in Houston, period. So it's a really fun way to try out some new restaurants in the city and get it at a decent price. So we're probably gonna go to a sushi restaurant tonight, hopefully with some friends. I have finished up some work for today. I'm debating whether I'm going to write. I've got some other things I need to do. So there's a lot of different things I need to do. I didn't get to writing yesterday, which is unfortunate, but that is okay. We are working through it. But yeah, so I do have changes on audiobook, but Turncoat made me really emotional. So I kind of needed like a little bit of a break. So I don't know if I'm going to start Changes today because it was so sad. So very sad. Lots of things were sad in there. I don't know. I just got really emotional about it. So I don't know. I might work on some jewelry. I might work on looking at some job stuff. Might do a bunch of different things. But I'm going to charge this camera because the battery is halfway. And I don't really have anything else to say as of right now. I just did a little unboxing for my DragonCon cosplay group, Hades cosplay group. You know what I mean. For my Hades cosplay, I did a little unboxing because I got my shoes. Yeah. Yes, look at them. So I got these and talked a little bit about that, and also I started talking about, or I finished up the section talking about Turncoat in my spoiler vlog for it. Changes and Ghost Story, which will come out probably after this video. Yeah, probably. So once it does, I'll make sure to link it down below. So if you're looking for spoilers on those 3, you can always check that out. But yeah, not really much to talk about right now. So I don't know, maybe we'll do a little B-roll and then I'll charge my camera. Sounds like a good rest of our Friday, right?
Moon, I'm there soon. I'm leaving quite early tomorrow morning. Undercover, baby, is what you ask of me. Soon I'll be disguised. Shooting star, I'm without a safety net. Give me a ride. I'm going far beyond where the sun sets. Dear, I'm no longer scared. Glow brings me comfort. I'm filled with light. Tiptoe, dance with me through the shadow play. Moon, I'm on my way.
Hello. It is Sunday, August 4th. So we are on the 4th day of the full moon readathon, and your girl hasn't been reading, to be honest. Here we go. That's better. So we haven't been reading. As you can see, we've done a lot of eating this weekend, and I actually took a break. I took a reading break. Like I said, I think I mentioned earlier that I finished Turncoat and I was feeling a little in my feels, you know. It was just kind of sad. And I think like I was mentally preparing for what the next 3 books in this series are going to be like, because they're pretty depressing in a lot of ways. So I was like, let me just vibe. So I decided to watch a K-drama. It's been a hot minute. I don't think I've really talked about this much on my channel because I've been reading a lot more than I've been watching K-dramas in the past year, but I am a K-drama fiend. I have been watching K-dramas since I was a senior in high school. I think the first one that I ever watched, it was a classic. It was the F4 Boys Over Flowers. If you haven't seen it, it is like the titular K-drama. It is one of the most popular K-dramas, like one of the most classic K-dramas out there, I would say. It's a K-drama classic, if you will. It was like that, and it started with a kiss. I feel like are the 2 that people would say are like the most pivotal from like the get-go of K-dramas. But Anyway, I decided I was in the mood for one, and I was in the mood for a little murder mystery. I was in the mood for a little high school murder mystery, plotting who's doing what. And so I ended up watching Revenge of Others, which is on Hulu. It is actually a Hulu original, it seems like, and the main actor, like the main male character actor in the show, is actually also in All of Us Are Dead. He's not the main male character in All of Us Are Dead, but he's like one of the main characters. It was really good. It was about it. I love a secret twin vibe that goes on in these K-dramas. One of my other favorite K-dramas of all time was 2015, which sounds like a weird name, but they have these ones that are like they're like high school stories, and they follow like different school stories, and one of them was about a twin swap, a secret twin. So I really vibe with that kind of story. I don't know why, I find it to be really fun. I actually want to watch that one again. I've been thinking about it, so I may rewatch it, and it's primarily because Gavin posted a video where he read the entire series by the same author who wrote Pretty Little Liars. I'll link that video down below if you're interested, but it's kind of a similar thing, like the twin dies, kind of a secret twin, and the surviving twin is trying to figure out what happened to their sibling, and it's a very similar concept here. There's a lot of things going on with this high school, and what was interesting too is not many of them were like chaebols. Like they had people, we had a couple characters who were a little more prominent, but this was a pretty like chill high school in the fact that like it was pretty average students overall, but we had a lot of orphans, we've had a lot of sadness. It was pretty sad, but I really enjoyed it. It kind of just met that itch. It scratched that itch for me, so I just finished that up, and we are about 30 minutes before the season finale of House of the Dragon, so I thought I would check in with you. But yeah, I said I haven't really done reading, and I really haven't since I finished Turncoat, but I did start listening to Changes today. And I won't dive too deeply into Changes. Like, this will be spoiler free because I'm going to have the spoiler filled vlog that you can check out if you want. But this is, we'll keep it pretty, you know, on the DL here, over on this side. But what's on the back of the book, essentially the big thing here is Harry finds out he's a dad. And he finds that out because Susan, who was his, you know, last person that he had like a really long, he had a relationship, not the last person he had a relationship with, the last person he was in love with. Because he did have another relationship, but that's a whole other story that you can watch for a different book, for Turncoat, which I think I need. Did I wrap Turncoat? I think I did. I don't know. So he finds out because Susan calls him, and great opener to the book where basically Susan calls Harry out of the blue and is like, they took our daughter. And it's like, I'll be there in 12 hours because she lives in South America. And it was great. I think like Butcher did like the way he opened it was so, usually it was so abrupt. And I feel like he was trying to give the reader the feeling that Harry was going through as this news was coming to him that he's had a daughter that he didn't know about. And for those of you who haven't read the Dresden Files, Harry, much like another wizard named Harry, is an orphan and grew up as an orphan, so much to say, and he really has been grappling a lot with that need for family for a very long time, especially through the books. You know, he continues to find family, not just found family, but in the story. And so this is a big shock for him because for his daughter to not have grown up so far with her parents who are both alive is something that's really hard for him to take in. And so I'm like 8% in, and I was like listening to it, I was like, oh, maybe today is not the day, because this is already feeling heavy and I'm feeling emotional, and just knowing where the story is going, like I didn't think I would feel so emotional about it, but I think the difference is being in my 30s now, listening to this video is very different than it was being, I think when I read Changed as I was probably a freshman in college, maybe a senior in high school, something like that. So although I could conceptualize the emotions, I feel like as an adult, like as deep in your adulthood, like it just hits a little different. And so it hits a little different for me. And then I'm probably gonna repeat this on my part of this in the vlog 4, in the spoiler vlog, but I also really feel for Susan, because you know Harry's upset with her and it makes sense, but at the same time, like I can understand why Susan made the choice she did. They're both living very dangerous lives, and they've got a lot of people who are after them, so to have a young child living with either of them would have been very dangerous for that child. But it didn't work out in the end either way, so she's gotten taken, and so now Harry's going to try to find her. And boy, is shit gonna hit the fan this book. And I will say, for those of you who haven't watched my Dresden Files videos, I did read these books previously. This is a reread challenge for me up until the last 3 books, which we're getting close to. So I have 6 books left, currently, changes included. But after Cold Days, it will be 3 new books for me. But outside of that, I've read the first 13 in the series. It was one of my favorite series in high school. I love the Dresden Files. So, yeah, it was emotional, and I was like, I'm gonna go back to watching my K-drama now. But I do intend on reading it this week. I'll probably read some of it tonight and then finish it up tomorrow so we can hop into Ghost Story. So that is my update for the full moon readathon. Hopefully I will catch one of my little monster beastie cards soon. Hopefully within the first 3 days of this week, so we can get back on track. But that is all. I'm gonna go get prepped to watch House of the Dragon now, and I'll check with you tomorrow.
겨울이 오길 기다리는 아이처럼 내 맘에 널 그려 포근했던 나의 온기 눈을 닮아서 You're falling quietly piling up in my heart 우리 아닌 모든 것 fade out 된 것처럼 너와 나의 세상 속에 계절을 보내 첫눈 오는 날 널 만나는 그날 차가운 네 공기조차 날 설레게 On the first snowy day I will melt away Cause I'll be with you 하이처럼 웃는 너의 미소가 바람이 뽑아야 미칠 듯 보고 싶어 널 안아줄 거야
Hello. As I would have discussed in my little B-roll yesterday, we weren't feeling our very bestest on Monday, but it is Tuesday, August 6th, and I just finished, what is going on with my computer? I just finished, oh, what happened? Hold on, 1 second. Rework here. I just finished watching Jan's latest video and wanted to give you some reading updates here. So first off, we are, hold on, I've got stuff everywhere right now. I'm working on jewelry. We are about 2/3 of the way through Changes, the 12th book in the Dresden Files series. I know I talked a little bit about this earlier in this vlog. I am avoiding this book a little bit. Not because it's not good, it's fantastic. Like, I was not feeling well yesterday and I ended up reading most of this book yesterday, listening to the audiobook while reading it physically as well. But I think the problem is I know how this book ends, and this book is just sad in so many different ways. Harry is in just such a bind, and just shit, like, it's hard. I think it's worse that I have read this before and I know how it ends, even though I know how the next book comes out, but like, it's just sad, and I don't really feel like being sad right this second. So when I'm reading it, I'm having a great time, but like, there is a little bit of sense of dread. Like, I did not think this book was going to make me so emotional, but it is. And I think it's because, you know, I've been reading these in succession, so everything these characters have gone through is so recent in my mind that it just feels overwhelming a little bit. So I'm struggling with that, but I do intend on finishing this book today. I'm on page 351, which means I have about 200 pages left, so I do intend on finishing this today. But yeah, I am feeling a little sad for Harry and company right now. So it's been a little bit of a struggle. I'm also currently on Gavin's Patreon reading sprints. So hello, Gavin. I know you can't see that I'm filming you right now, but hello from the past. Outside of that, I started reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So I just kept seeing a bunch of people chatting about it on YouTube because it's now a Netflix show. And I started watching the Netflix show and just decided that I wasn't sure if I was interested in continuing the Netflix series. So I thought I'd read the book. And funny enough, found out that my brother, so I share like an Amazon account with my family, and so my brother must have read the series a couple years ago because it has been in my Kindle shelf since May of 2022. So I'm trying to break up the sadness of the Dresden Files and just give my brain a little chance to recoup after every traumatic thing that continues to go on in the story. I decided, let's read a little YA mystery, shall we? I'm sure there will be sad things that go on because it's literally about murder. But, you know, it's just a little something different. It's characters I'm not as attached to after reading so many books with them in it. And I am about 30% of the way through the book right now. And I am actually going to use The Good Girl's Guide to Murder to help me finish the Mummy card, because that is a book that's been on your shelf for a long time. So like, even though I technically didn't know this was on my Kindle shelf for a long time, it technically has been on my shelf for a long time. So I'm going to use that for that prompt so we can get one of the cards, because we are vastly behind. We're almost halfway through this reading challenge and your girl has not finished a book on this challenge. So I'm gonna change that out instead of that being Ghost Story, and I'll just kind of push the Dresden File ones around to make things work. I also remembered that I do need to read I'm gonna be reworking my TBR, so we'll go through that. But I'm gonna be reworking it, fudge buckets, because I am trying to read these two arcs that I picked up from NetGalley, and they're due to archive soon. So I think after I finish Changes and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I'm gonna read those two this week, opposed to continuing on with Ghost Story right away. I also think perhaps I need a little bit of a break from the Dresden Files, since I am like so emotionally invested that before I know Ghost Story is very emotional. So I want to give myself the ability to take a break. So I might pause on the Dresden Files until next week after I finish Changes and read those 2 arcs instead that I mentioned in my TBR anyway, because I wanted to do a Regency arc book, and I think those will be nice and light and fun to read, hopefully. So that is the plan. That is my catch up. I am, like I said, trying to make some jewelry here. I have an interview in an hour, so I'm gonna have to go get changed and such in a few. But I'm doing this, thought I would catch up on filming while we're here. And yeah, so that's my update. See you in a bit. Hello. I finished Changes. I'm sad. I had a great time. It was fun. I kept putting it off, but I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. And now we're gonna be finishing up, I think, A Girl's Guide to Murder. I'll be reading that tonight and tomorrow. I'm gonna take a little breaky break from my good old pal Harry Dresden before we hop into Ghost Story, which I'm super excited about. So that is pretty much it for the day. Don't have anything else planned, but I just wanted to give a quick check-in with you. And yeah. Oh my God. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Create an extra line of defense and protect that lead. That's like 2FA on Kraken. A surefire way to keep what you already have safe and sound. Go to kraken.com and see what crypto can.
Hi. Hello. So, let me put you up on something so you're not looking at my chin. Oh, maybe this. Jesus Christ. All right. Too tall? Is it too tall now? No, perfect. It's like you're talking. This is how tall I am. You don't know. So, hi. It is Wednesday, August 7th. Super exciting. I just did my first ever sprints on the YouTubes with some lovely people over on Gavin's Patreon. They like to do sprints on the Patreon. I will link his information below if you want to join his Patreon, because it's pretty amazing. And now it is 5:30. I'm starting dinner. Yeah, so I did a sprint. Originally, it was just going to be a makeup test for my Hades costume, which I'm really glad that I did, because I was going way too blue to where I feel, I'll put the picture here, where I feel like I was looking more like the genie in like coloration than really when you look at him, he's a bit more gray. So I'm definitely gonna tone that down. I may do another test and maybe I'll save that for the actual vlog of my second test. But I am currently having this beer is okay. It's from Eureka Heights, which is a local Houston brewery. You may not know this about me, but your girl loves a craft beer because I am the quintessential millennial. So I picked that up yesterday. It's all right. It's a rice lager, or no, not a lager, I'm sorry, a rice pilsner. But well, see, it says lager. Why was I thinking it was a pilsner? With pilsner malt and flaked rice. Okay, that's where I was getting pilsner from. So I'm drinking one of these. The can is so cute. I just want it as like a t-shirt. Can you stop? There we go. I mean, so cute. So very cute. So drinking that. I'm gonna be making meatball subs. I'm waiting for the oven to preheat. We're almost there. Yesterday, it's ready. So making some meatball subs. I had a hankering for them earlier this week, so I got some little buns, and we have some, I hope we have sauce. So we got some sauce, I got some mozzarella, some provolone, we gonna have ourselves some little subs today, y'all. I'm like mixing up my Jersey, New York accent with Texas. I don't know, life's weird. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I was also working on some jewelry, which you would have seen, and then I was working on painting some pieces for my cosplay. I don't know when that cosplay vlog's gonna come out. I'm starting to think it's gonna come out closer to Dragon Con, maybe like right before Dragon Con. But then again, I don't know when I'm gonna put the whole thing on and do like a reveal, because I leave for Tampa on Tuesday and I'll be gone for a week. And then I have like a week before I go to Dragon Con. So I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Reading wise, we are officially, tomorrow we are officially halfway through. Oh, Pumpkin's coming to see what's going on. We're officially halfway through the full moon readathon and we are doing great. No, I'm 50%. I'm a little more than 50% of the way through A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And, I don't know. I was talking a little bit about this on Sprints today. I don't know if I am vibing with it all that much. I think partially because I was talking about like the mixed media is fun, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not getting a lot of the character development at points in time, because we're getting a lot of second, almost like Pippa's account of a conversation she had instead of actually having the conversation sometimes. I don't know. I'm just not that invested yet. The mystery wise, like, I'm just not that invested. Maybe it's just because it's a young adult. But then again, I was talking about this on Sprints too, is I read Truly Devious back in April, and I really enjoyed that book. So I don't know. Maybe it'll pick up. Like I said, I'm only 50% of the way through. I know people like really like this book, so I want to like it too. As Allie from Alice in Pages says, I want to be one of the hot girls too. You know, we want to be cool and like the books that everybody else likes. But what can you do? With that in mind, though, I think we're going to have to take a pre-K pause, because Netherford Hall is due back. Not due back, but like expires on Friday. Yeah, it expires on Friday. So we need to read that. So I'm probably going to start that vlog of reading those 2 books. And then we'll read Ghost Story as an audiobook, maybe starting tomorrow. I wasn't really in the mood to do an audiobook today. I listened to my podcast. I've been catching up on YouTube videos because I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately. I just haven't been in the mood. So I caught up on Gavin's second library video. I watched Gabby's book haul, and now I'm watching Olivia's weekly vlog, which is nice and long, so I can just have it on in the background as I make dinner and clean up. But I think that's what we're gonna do. So I'm probably actually gonna start Netherford Hall by Natanya Barron, and it's described as like a queer Pride and Prejudice with witches. Queer witches in Pride and Prejudice. To hear it comes out August 13th. So actually, funny enough, it comes out at the end of Full Moon Readathon, so I think this will be perfect. So I need to read that one first because it archives on the 9th. I thought I was going to do 2 videos for the Full Moon Readathon, but as it is Wednesday, and we have yet to even start editing this, I don't think that's going to happen. So this will probably just be an extra long little vlog that comes out on the last day of the Full Moon Readathon, and hopefully we will have completed enough to collect all of the monster friends. So that's the goal. So let's get to it. Hello. Today is Thursday, August 8th. I know I'm looking crazy, but I thought I would check in because I am like 40% of the way through Netherford Hall. So I wanted to chat with you about it because overall, I am enjoying this book. I've been putting it off for literally weeks. But I am having a good time. So like I mentioned, the basic idea, kind of basic idea is this is like Pride and Prejudice with witches. It's queer. But there's a lot more going on than that. So our two main characters, well, not even two main characters. So kind of like Jane Austen, the author is bouncing around between characters. So I think the three characters whose heads we have really been in are Edith Rockwood, who is the gentle witch that has just moved back into her ancestral home of Netherford Hall after a tragedy befell the family, and she basically became the gentle witch, even though, like, the head of the house essentially, even though she wasn't meant to be that person. Next, we have Uncle Auden, who is the, what is the word for it? There's a word, and I will look it up here eventually, but he is the kind of the male person without powers who kind of helps facilitate things for the gentle witch. So not her caretaker, but just like helps her out with some of the more minutia of the day-to-day of kind of like back in the Regency days where the Lord, you know, kind of owned all the land and was a big part of the town. So like helps with a lot of that outside of like the magic portion. And then the other characters whose head we're in is Poppy, and Poppy is, her and her family are tenants on, directly on the grounds of Netherford Hall, not necessarily like they live in the town, but like their house is on the grounds that are considered part of Netherford Hall. So they are their direct tenants. And Poppy and Edith have a chemistry that is drawing the two together, although they don't seem to like one another. And we're kind of putting in this idea that Poppy had basically this notion that a witch had taken away wealth and prosperity and the health of her father in order for her family to save her life back when she was a child because she fell ill. So she kind of already doesn't have a great affinity for witches, and so she's kind of standoffish with Edith. However, they're clearly drawn to each other, and we start to understand that Poppy's a little different from everybody else, and Edith can't quite figure out what that is. There also seems to be a plot to get rid of this family, to get rid of the Rockwoods, and so there is like an undercurrent of mystery in here, and now they've been kind of put in more of a forced proximity because Edith ends up helping Poppy with something in particular. And that's kind of where we're at, but I'm having fun. I'm liking it. So yeah, that's really it. Hello, it is Friday, August 9th. I have just been wrapping up some filming. I also had some consulting work to do earlier today, but I have finished my first arc on NetGalley and left a review, and that was Netherfield. That's a different book. Netherford Hall by Tanya Barron, I think. And yeah, so I wrote a full review. It is coming out August 13th. August 13th. And man, I really was enjoying this book. I think I checked in with you yesterday about it. I was really having a good time up until like 40% of the book. So as I mentioned, this is kind of described as a Pride and Prejudice with witches, a queer story, and it is in some ways. It does take place in like an alternate Regency history where there are witches that are part of society. There are also vampires and werewolves. And Edith is a witch whose family, basically like the head of the family and most of her family, gets burned in a fire, or they pass away from a fire of their house in London and end up taking up their roots in Netherford, where their ancestral home is. And part of this we find out is because Edith needs to, like, witches gain power from their roots, like where they plant roots, and so she's trying to gain more power because she was never considered to be the most powerful of her family, or was not really considered to be taking over the family at some point in time. And she ends up, her and her uncle Auden and her nephew Henry end up taking residence in this Netherford Hall and getting to know the people in Netherford, including our other main character, who is Poppy. She's the tenant to Edith, and she and her kind of start off as enemies, and this is kind of an enemies to lovers, but not really. Really what I think this book suffered from was it kind of just shoved way too much into one book. I enjoyed the world. I need to move this. This is hurting my eyes. Here we go. I enjoyed the world. I thought a lot of these were great ideas. I really liked how the author set up an alternative history where queer relationships are quite common and actually like an option for marriage prospects and things like that. I thought that was a really cool element that they added to this world, but I think they were just trying to do too many things at once. There was multiple mysteries, too many characters, too much at once. It was just too much, and I believe that this is going to be the first book in like a romantasy paranormal romance series, and I think they would have been better off splitting this story into 2 books. I think there was just too much going on, and the characters suffered and the story suffered. I thought we started ramping up super fast, and about time we got to the climax of the story, I was like, what in God's green earth is going on? It was just too much. I felt like we were getting a lot of exposition. We were rushing. We were rapidly going through and tying up loose ends from all of these different mysteries, and I just didn't think the payoff was there. And I really wish we would have allowed this story to breathe more. I feel like it could have been reworked, of maybe not having that couple be the initial couple, maybe having them be, you know, their story start in the first book, but then not be the like end goal for the first book to finish, because I would have liked to see a slower burn with these characters as well, because I feel like we lost who they were as characters in the middle of the book. And again, a lot of that is because we were throwing so much at the reader. But I will say, from looking on NetGalley, it seems like a lot of people did enjoy this book, so maybe this is just me. Maybe I just prefer something a little slower. I don't know. It was a lot. I'm pretty disappointed, but I will say, like, if what we were like hinted at the end of this book, I think I would still possibly read another book in this series if it is what I think it's going to be, because I feel like we won't be suffering from that same problem, so maybe it will turn out better. But yeah, so that is disappointing, but I'm actually gonna use Netherford Hall, I believe, as my colorful cover, because it is quite colorful for the Full Moon Readathon Challenge. Does that give me a monster? No. I'm marking things off randomly, but haven't completed a Pokemon card yet, y'all. But we still have a full week left of this readathon, so I'm sure we will complete some more and catch them all. So that's my update. I am going to go chill out a little bit, so I will talk to you a little later. Hello. It is the last day of the Full Moon Readathon, and we've done some reading. So let's catch up first, and then I have a little fun unboxing that I thought we'd do. And then I really gotta get my butt in gear because I am going to be catching a plane. So let's chat. Well, first, let me pull up the Full Moon Readathon prompts so I don't get confused. So let's talk about what we've accomplished thus far, which monsters we've collected. So the first one, the mummy, the prompt was read a paperback book, and I did. You read Changes by Jim Butcher, gave it 5 stars. I am going to be posting a spoiler-filled blog about it, but had a great time. And then I did change the prompt, the initial prompt that I had for the second one on the mummy, which is book you've had for a long time, and I changed that to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Black, right? Holly Jackson. Holly Black is another author. So I did finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I ended up giving that one 4 stars. I was sitting more on 3 stars when I was about 50% of the way through the book, because I just wasn't really feeling connected to the characters. We were spending a lot of time in the notes, and I didn't feel like, I know the mixed media is popular to some people, but I didn't quite feel like the mixed media was working for me. Is it raining? Like the mixed media was working for me to connect with the characters, but I thought as we really started ramping up at the 50% mark, we really got to dive a little deeper into Pippa and Pip and her crisis, as she realized that she had been so focused on all of her projects. I think she kind of went through a crisis that I feel, as myself as somebody who was an overachiever in school, go through, where you suddenly realize, like, who am I outside of these things that I'm good at, outside of being a good student, outside of getting my projects done? Who am I besides that? And I did really connect with that on a deep level. So I think that pushed it to a 4 stars. I don't want to talk too much about it, especially because I know it's a popular book. I know that there's a Netflix show and it's a mystery. So it is really hard to talk about plot wise. You know, I don't know if I was that invested in the mystery in the end. I mean, I was, but I think I was just enjoying by the last half of it. I was more enjoying finally seeing Pippa get deeper into her character and connecting more with her, that I was just kind of along for the ride and wasn't so concerned in trying to figure out exactly who done it. So 4 stars. It was a good time. So with that, we did catch The Mummy for our paperback book and Ghost Story by Jim Butcher, and I am doing our post-reading wrap-up thus far to reward myself right now. Outside of that, I think the other one that we can confidently say that we have caught here, so 2 monsters, would be The Clown. So originally I had put Skin Game by Jim Butcher as a book with humor, but as you can see, your girl didn't get that far. So I'm gonna switch that up and put that as Ghost Story by Jim Butcher. There is humor in here. It is still a sad story, but there is humor because Harry is always funny. So we're putting that in there. I just did my wrap up on that for the vlog. It's still 5 stars. It's still one of my favorite books in the Dresden Files series, if not my favorite. Such an interesting book, such a great read. I couldn't put it down. I was so excited to just want to devour it. And I'm really looking forward to hopping into Cold Days, which I will be doing on the plane today. And then finally, the final book that we read here in the Full Moon Readathon, even though we have one more day, so we may still accomplish something, is the colorful cover. And for that, we switched it up and we read the arc Netherford Hall. I do believe I did a full wrap up on that anywhere, so I'm not gonna do it again. But it was a bit of a disappointment, but I'm still glad that I read it. I am looking forward to reading my other arc, and I just got another one of a book that I've been anticipating, so I'm super excited to read that one. We can talk about that another time, but that also means that we accomplished The Clown, and so we gotta do something to bring out our inner child, and I think unboxing something clearly brings out our inner child, so let's do that right now. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this reading journal. I haven't like looked anywhere yet. Should I bring you down here? Maybe we'll go on the floor. Come, let's go on the floor. That's very inner child, right? Like Christmas. Okay. Ooh. Where can we put you so you can see me talk? There we go. Hello. Okay, so the theme of July 2024 was the Magical Menagerie, and I do believe the book is The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. And we have a couple different things. Oh, we got a desk mat. Sorry, I didn't reveal these yet. Okay. I don't have a desk mat. I'm excited. So this desk mat is the Birds of a Feather desk mat, and the artwork is done by Kristen Engelberth. And let's see what it looks like. It already looks super pretty and colorful. Wow. Oh, it's so pretty. I mean, look, it's got little cinnamon sticks. And these like really pretty duck looking ones, and then obviously a phoenix. And this kind of looks like some kind of phoenix as well. Wow, that's so pretty. That's really pretty, right? Okay. Let's keep it going. Okay, I think this is a lipstick holder. Lipstick case. So this is a lipstick case, the Night Zoo. Inspired by Beast of Prey. Is ideal for keeping your favorite lipstick with you wherever you go. I can actually see this being useful because I have like chapsticks just roaming around my bag all the time, and having a place for them to be would be great. Oh, it has a little mirror. That's nice. It's like a leather stitching of some sort. Huh. Cute. Here. It's got like this nice is that called embossing? Oh. Okay. The next one. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. Oh, this is from the Emily Wilde series. The Hidden Ones of Ludgell Island. The magnetic bookmark set. Oh no, this isn't, inspired by Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Oh, they're so cute. Oh! Yay! Okay. Oh, all right. Ooh, pretty. Here is, so this is what I was really interested in. This is the, where is that? Mythical Creature Reading Journal. Interior artwork done by Hope Christianofferson and designed by Fen Inkwright. It's gorgeous on the outside, as you can see. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Ooh, it feels nice. It's got like dragons, butterflies. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look at it. And it's like, so it's got like a reading tracker, a reading log. Oh, look at the monthly TBR. The artwork in here is gorgeous. Monthly wrap up. This. It's like, do I fill it up for, I mean, I guess I can just do it for as long as I want. They also have an Illuminate reading challenge, a reading goals, best book tournament, very fun. I feel like now I don't want to start using it until January, because then I can fully use this for the whole year and be able to take you through it throughout the whole year. We might have to do that. Save this, and we can use this for the beginning of next year. When I can do like a full walkthrough and stuff. Okay, and let's look at the book, and then we really gotta get our ass in gear. So here she is, the Phoenix Keeper. Falling in love never burned so bright. those sprayed edges are pretty, honey. Okay, so here she is, sprayed edges, beauts. We love a phoenix. Wow, love that. I'm so partial to actual covers. Like, this is so pretty. Oh, the back of it's really pretty. Here, hold on. World famous San Tamako Zoo. Help save the Somalo phoenix. Oh, it got a little dented. Oh, we got a little drawing here too. How nice. Oh, there's more. Does it keep going? Or maybe it's just like that. Oh, that's fun. So, according to the dust jacket, it says, as head of the Phoenix Keeper at a world-renowned zoo for magical creatures, Aaliyah's childhood dream of conserving critically endangered firebirds seems closer than ever. There's just one glaring caveat. Her zoo's breeding program hasn't functioned for a decade. When a tragic Phoenix heist sabotages the flagship initiative at a neighboring zoo, Aaliyah must prove her derelict facilities are fit to take the reins. But saving an entire species from extinction requires more than stellar animal handling skills. Carnivorous water horses, tempestuous thunderhawks, mischievous dragons, Aaliyah has no problem wrangling beasts. Inspiring zoo patrons? That's another story. Mustering the courage to ask for help from the hotshot griffin keeper at the zoo's most popular exhibit? Virtually impossible. Especially when the hotshot griffin keeper happens to be her arch rival from college, Luciana, and knowingly brooding an insufferable know-it-all with the grace of a basilisk and the face of a goddess who's convinced that Aaliyah's beloved phoenix would serve their cause better as an active performer rather than a passive conservation exhibit. With the world watching and the threat of poachers looming, Aaliyah's success is no longer merely a matter of keeping her job. She is the keeper of the phoenix and the future of the species that rests on her shoulders. There's just one thing she has to remember. She's not alone. Sounds fun. I'm excited to read it. I probably will not check the reviews and hope that it's good. Yo. Oh, I guess here's the two aforementioned. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Fun. Okay, that is a wrap. I will see you later, maybe, to officially wrap up the full moon readathon.